Hello, my name is John Lyle, and together you and I are going to go through the People First Forum, giving a voice to people with learning disabilities newsletter for spring 2025. Page 2. Welcome. We hope that this year brings you lots of happiness and joy, and have some fun things planned for the year ahead. This year is looking very busy for us already. We have lots of fun and exciting activities planned with our On the Move project. We are also continuing to deliver the Oliver McGowan Learning Disability and Autism training to health and social care staff in Dorset. Our witness support team are also there to support you through court if you are a victim or a witness of crime. We look forward to seeing you this year. Best wishes from the People First Forum team. You might be wondering, what is a team? Well, a team is made up of people that have got different abilities and different specialities and all sorts of different ways of looking at things, but even though they might all be different, they all can come together and discuss things. So that includes the staff, the volunteers and the members of People First Forum, because we all have something of value to say. Page 3, the gallery. And there's some lovely pictures from various events that have taken place with some of our members, and I can see they were all having a brilliant time. Page 4. Oh, there's some more lovely pictures. Wow. And I can see that everyone was having fun. That's brilliant. Join us. We celebrate all our members and will be joining the Pride Parade in Bournemouth on Saturday the 12th of July 2025. Pride is about celebrating the LGBTQ plus community. So LGBTQ plus means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning, so that means people that aren't sure what they are, plus. So plus is like anyone else that might feel a different way. If you would like to join us for the parade, you can book online or call us on 01202 051 014. Page 5. The right job. In our Bill of Rights Charter, we talk about the right to a job. We try to offer lots of different jobs for people with disabilities at People First Forum. Joe and Stephen got jobs with us as trainers. Here they are to tell us how they feel about it. Stephen said, "I feel like this job has changed my life. I have always wanted to make sure everyone is treated equally. I know I am making a difference to people, and this job has made a difference to me." And Joe said, "This job has given me even more confidence in public speaking. I feel I am contributing, and not just at home all the time. I can give those struggling a voice, and that includes my friends. Page 6. Safe places. A safe place is where you can go if you are being bullied, are being harassed, become ill, or even if you're lost. Our safe places are part of the National Safe Places Scheme. This means that you can find safe places in lots of different parts of the country. Local businesses and organisations sign up and agree to become a safe place. We give them a sticker to put in the window of their shop or organisation. There are 146 safe places in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole. Page 7. So, what can a safe place do? Well, they can support you to make a phone call, give you directions, try to keep you calm and safe whilst you wait for someone. Or they can call the emergency services for you. The Safe Places app. The National Safe Places Scheme has an app with all the safe places on it. It can show you how to get to the nearest safe place that is open. You can find out more from www.safeplaces.org.uk/apps/. Page 8. Oh, there's some colouring to do. Oh, it's a house, but a mushroom as well. I wonder who would live in that sort of house. Maybe a gnome, I don't know. Or maybe a rabbit, I'm not too sure. Page 9, our events. And this is the events from April 2025 to June 2025. Page 10. So here is some information about our events for the next 3 months. So there's online sessions. Our online sessions are on Zoom. The social events, meet up with other members and take part in activities. And the speaking up and advice sessions, a chance to get help or advice. There will be different people there to give advice. Social events and our speaking up groups need to be booked before the day. You can book on our website or over the phone. So the website is www.peoplefirstforum.co.uk/booking, or you can phone us on 01202 051 014. Page 11. So this is now our events. So that's for April. There's a publicity group on Tuesday, April the 1st from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. and that takes place at the Rosmore Leisure Centre, Herbert Avenue, postcode BH124HR, and it's free to attend. Come and help decide how we should advertise ourselves in the local area and on social media. On Wednesday, April the 2nd, there's an accessibility group, and that's at Upton Country Park in Poole Road, Upton, postcode BH177BJ, and it takes place from 12:30 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. and it's free. And this month we will be looking at how accessible Upton Country Park is. Wetherspoons Pool, and that's on Wednesday, April the 2nd as well. And that takes place from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. at Wetherspoons, the Lord Wimborne in Poole, postcode BH151QD. And make sure that you bring money for food and drink. Join us for some dinner, drinks and games at Wetherspoons. Sounds fun. Page 12. There's an information drop-in, and that takes place in Christchurch on Monday, April the 7th. It says we will be there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Christchurch High Street, and it's free. It says if the weather is nice, our van will be on the High Street at Christchurch Market. On Monday, April the 7th, there's Friends Forum online, and that takes place from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. and it's on Zoom, and it's free, and it's our monthly online speaking up group on Zoom. Speak Up Boscombe, and that takes place on Wednesday, April the 9th from 12:30 p.m. until 2 p.m. at Joy Cafe, Churchill Gardens in Boscombe, postcode BH1 4ES. But make sure that you bring money for food and drink. Join us for a drink and something to eat at this month's Speaking Up session in Boscombe. Page 13. Corfe Castle, and that's on Friday, April the 11th from 11:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and that's at Corfe Castle, the Square, Wareham. Well, it's not actually in Wareham, but it's at Corfe Castle where that is. The postcode is BH205EZ and it's £10. Join us for a trip to Corfe Castle. We will be looking around Corfe Castle and the village, but make sure that you bring a packed lunch and then we can all have a picnic together. Ooh. Go Forum on Thursday, April the 17th. And that takes place from 1:30 p.m. until 3 p.m.
Just need to interrupt you as there has been a change of venue since the original printout of the newsletter. So Go Forum will now be at Bobby's in Bournemouth. So it's the Patch, which is the first floor of Bobby's, Bournemouth, BH2 5LP.
And it says join us for our Speaking Up session in Poole. Speak Up Christchurch, and that's on Tuesday, April the 22nd from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Water Lily Cafe in Christchurch, postcode BH232AW. But make sure that you bring money for food and drink. Join us for a drink and something to eat at this month's Speaking Up session in Christchurch. Page 14. There's an information drop-in on Thursday, April the 24th. We will be there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. and that's on Poole High Street, and it's free. If the weather is nice, our van will be on the High Street at Poole Market. Cycles, that's cycling on a bicycle, and that's on Friday, April the 25th. And that's all going all around Poole Park. And we'll be there from 11 p.m. until 1 p.m. But the meeting place is at the Ark, and that's the cafe there, in Poole Park, in Poole. The postcode is BH152SF. And make sure that you bring money for a drink. We will cycle all around Poole Park, Whitecliffe and Beta, and have a drink in the Ark when we've finished. Publicity group, and that's on Tuesday, April the 29th, from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. and that's at the Rosmore Leisure Centre in Herbert Avenue, postcode BH124HR, and that's free. Please come and help us decide how we should advertise ourselves in the local area and on social media. Page 15. Speak up and bowl. And that takes place at the Hollywood Bowl on Poole Road in Branksome. And that's on April the 30th from 12:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. And it costs £6.50. Join us for a speaking up session on our monthly topic and then 2 games of bowling after. Woo! Now it's to May. And there's karaoke on Thursday, May the 8th. And that takes place at the Wonderful Kitchen, 261 Charminster Road, postcode BH89QJ, from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. And it costs £15. An evening of karaoke, so that's where you can sing along to songs and have the microphone yourself and sing just as if you're a pop star. Please bring extra money for Chinese food and drink. On Monday, May the 12th, there's Friends Forum Online, and that takes place from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. and it's on Zoom, and it's free. Our monthly online speaking up group on Zoom. Page 16. The Sea Life Centre in Weymouth, and that's on Wednesday, May the 14th, from 11:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Sea Life Centre at Lodmore Country Park, Weymouth, postcode DT47SX. And it's £15 to get in there. But that's a good price, because imagine what you'll see. And it's a trip to the Sea Life Centre in Weymouth. There will be a few spaces on a minibus, but it costs an extra £10 per person to be booked, and that needs to be done in advance. So if you struggle to get all the way to Weymouth, there will be a minibus that can take you there, but it will cost you £10 for the minibus, and then remember also it'll be the £15 to get into the Sea Life Centre, so in total that'll be £25. There's an information drop-in on Thursday, May the 15th. We will be there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Boscombe High Street, and it's free. If the weather is nice, our van will be on the High Street at Boscombe Market. Accessibility group on Friday, May the 16th, and that will be at Poole train station from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. and it's free. And it's really important because we'll be looking at how accessible public transport is with a trip by train and bus. Page 17, Publicity Group, and that's on Tuesday, May the 20th from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Rosmore Leisure Centre, Herbert Avenue, postcode BH124HR. So that's our actual office that we have at the Leisure Centre, and it's free. Please come and help decide how we should advertise ourselves in the local area and on social media. There's an information drop-in on Thursday, May the 22nd on Poole High Street, and we'll be there from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. and it's free. If the weather is nice, our van will be on the High Street at Poole Market. On Thursday, May the 29th, there's Go Forum, and that takes place from 1:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. at the meeting room in Poole Library in the Dolphin Centre in Poole, and it's free. Join us for this month's Speaking Up group in Poole. Page 18. Smugglers Cove Golf. On Friday, May the 30th from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. we'll be at Bournemouth Pier in Bournemouth doing Smugglers Golf, and that costs £11.30. Join us for a game of adventure golf at Smugglers Cove on Bournemouth Pier. June! There's an information drop-in on Monday, June the 2nd. We'll be there from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Christchurch High Street, and it's free. If the weather is nice, our van will be on the High Street at Christchurch Market. On Monday, June the 2nd, there's Friends Forum online from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. and it's on Zoom, and it's free, and it's our monthly online Speaking Up group on Zoom. Page 19. Go karting? Wow! And that's on Thursday, June the 5th from 2:45 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. and it's at Team Sport Go-Karting, 510 Wollaston Road, postcode BH118QN, and that will cost you £40. It's a go-karting experience, racing around the track, trying to get the fastest lap. You must be confident, though, to drive a go-kart, because it'll be whizzing around. Wow! Excellent. Cool, I'm so excited after that last one, I can hardly talk. On Monday, June the 9th, there's an accessibility group from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. and that's at Castle Point Shopping Centre in Bournemouth, postcode BH8 9UZ, and it's free. And this month we'll be looking at how accessible Castle Point Shopping Centre is. So that means accessible for wheelchairs and people with different disabilities, how easy it is for them to go around the Castle Point Shopping Centre. On Monday, the 9th of June, there's pottery with 15 days in clay. And that takes place from 2:45 p.m. until 4:45 p.m. at the Church Hall, the Good Shepherd Church, Stanfield Road in Poole, postcode BH123HR, and the cost of that is £5. And it's a pottery session with Jana from 15 Days in Clay. That's the name of her organisation that she works for. It's called 15 Days in Clay. It doesn't mean that you'll be there for 15 days. That's the name of her organisation. And make sure, please bring a shoebox to take your pottery home in. And that's because you want to make sure after you've made it, because I'm sure you're going to make a brilliant job, right? You definitely don't want it to get damaged, do you, when you take it home? So a shoebox is a brilliant idea. You put it in there and it'll be nice and safe and won't get damaged. Page 20. A boat trip. Wow. On Tuesday, June the 10th. And that takes place from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. So we'll be meeting at the Tesco's Express on Poole Quay. And that's in Poole. The postcode is BH151HU. And please bring money for lunch, and also it'll cost you £2 to go on that boat trip around the harbour. So join us for a boat trip around Poole Harbour, and then fish and chips on Poole Quay after. Speak Up Boscombe on Wednesday, June the 11th. And that takes place from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Joy Cafe, Churchill Gardens, Boscombe, postcode BH1 4ES. And please bring money for food and drink. Join us for a drink and something to eat at this month's Speaking Up session in Boscombe. Go Forum on Thursday, June the 12th. And that takes place from 1:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. at the meeting room in Poole Library in the Dolphin Centre in Poole, and it's free. Join us for this month's Speaking Up session in Poole. Page 21. Speak Up Christchurch, and that takes place on Tuesday, June the 17th from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Water Lily Cafe in Christchurch, postcode BH23 2AW. And please bring money for food and drink. Join us for a drink and something to eat at this month's Speaking Up session in Christchurch. Speak Up and Bowl, and that's on Friday, June the 20th from 12:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. at Hollywood Bowl, Poole Road, Branksome, and that will cost £6.50. Join us for a Speaking Up session on a monthly topic, and then 2 games of bowling after. Publicity Group on Tuesday, June the 24th from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at the Rosmore Leisure Centre, Herbert Avenue, BH124HR. So that again is at our main office, and that is free. Please come and help us decide how we should advertise ourselves in the local area. So that's a way of any ideas you can think of, so that we could get more members and let people that look after people know all about People First Forum, so that we can get even better. Do your bit. And also so that we can advertise better in the local area on social media. Page 22. There's an information drop-in on Thursday, June the 26th, and we'll be there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Poole High Street, and it's free. If the weather is nice, our van will be on Poole High Street at Poole Market. On Friday, June the 26th, we'll be taking a walk around Hengersbury Head and then have some lunch in the cafe. And that starts at 11:30am until 2:30pm at Hengersbury Head in Bournemouth, postcode BH6 4EW. But make sure that you bring your own money for the lunch. Ooh, now we've got to spot the difference. Just having a look. Oh, I can see one. I wonder if you can see any more. So I've spotted one. Right, see if you can beat me. Page 23. A word search. And this word search is all about singers and bands. Oh, they're good actually. These ones, they're modern singers and bands, and also ones going back years and years and years. Whew. See if you can find them. I won't do it now while I'm talking, because otherwise you'll be waiting for me to finish, and we're almost there. It's the back page. So, if you need to contact us, our address is People First Forum, Rosmore Leisure Centre, Herbert Avenue in Poole, postcode BH124HR. You can phone us on 01202 051 014, and that phone number somebody will answer on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays from 9:30am until 1pm. You can email us at office.admin1@peoplefirstforum.co.uk. And of course our website is www.peoplefirstforum.co.uk. And we're on Facebook. So that's just go on Facebook and put in all one word, People First Forum. So that's the end of the newsletter of People First Forum for spring 2025. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed listening as much as I've enjoyed reading the newsletter out.